Hello and welcome to My Xbox and Me, episode 407. We are 1 week away from being 8 years old.
Wow.
Special guest next week, right?
I am one of your hosts, mcfixer, alongside the one and only Too Fresh Kresh, who has promised he will be bringing his best friend and guest with him next week.
Phil Spencer?
Yeah.
No way.
Wait, whoa. Matt, why are you leaking that, bro? It was going to be a surprise for next
That
week.
was a secret relationship you had going.
Uncle Phil's going to be here next week. We all know that. No, not Phil Spencer, just Kresh's Uncle Phil. He's going to be here next
Yeah.
week.
Totally
talking
unrelated.
all things. Kresh, you good? How's things?
Yeah, things are good, you know. Same as always.
Same as always. I respect that, Kresh. Will we ever find out if things are not good with you? That's what I want to know.
Absolutely not.
I
no.
respect that. And of course, the voice you heard a minute ago, the one and only Matt P. Video. Matt, how are you?
I'm very well. I'm very good.
Matt.
Yeah.
I realised something
Oh,
today. So
Uh-oh.
I bitched about not being invited to your wedding.
Yeah.
Bitched. And then you sent me an invite and then I didn't respond. Nah, that's double folded. So number one, I did it on purpose. I didn't reply because deep down we know you don't want me there. And I respect that.
Well,
right? I respect that.
Hold on a minute.
I respect that. I know you don't want me there. I know that it was a pity invite, and that's why I didn't respond. And I knew I had to respond by April, right?
April 30th was the deadline, yeah. But you are, you're invited to the evening party.
Exactly.
So the RSVP is more,
I don't know. I don't go to weddings. Where you can't tell me where it is. We'll talk off. Yo, just link where it is.
And the address.
This is the other thing. For you, it's a fucking trek, my dude. Like as much as a trek in the UK can be.
Yeah,
So-
but I feel like I should just come so I can see this. Matt, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is why I want to come. I want to come because let's be honest. I want to make things as awkward as possible for you. Because I've got to imagine, Kresh, you know where I'm going with this already. I've got to imagine, not too many black people going to be at this wedding. I want to walk in and be like, who the fuck is that guy? And I'm like, Matt, what's going on, brother? Oh my God. And everyone be like, who the fuck is this guy? We've never seen him before in our life.
Not have the most diverse. I mean, obviously, both me and Emma are white, and so the majority of people there are
I'm
family.
sure.
And so yes, an overwhelmingly majority white room. Don't get me wrong.
I'm not
But
sitting here
exclusively white room.
No. Of course not. But I'm just saying, me being the I'm a big personality as well. So me
Sure.
pulling up, me and Haley, and I would dress as nice as I fucking could because I would want people to look at me and go, "Who is that guy?"
Yeah, come on. Man doesn't dress up for a DC premiere or a Marvel movie premiere.
Weddings
but for
I do,
my
though.
wedding apparently will.
Yeah. To be fair, there's photos out there on Instagram. Weddings, me and Haley go hard. I'm just saying.
No,
Matt, Fix is going to dress better for your wedding than he will for his own wedding.
That's a fact.
I respect that.
I'm coming in a tracksuit. Another funny story. Met up with my dad for the first time in a long time. And I went to his shop, which most people know. If you've been a long time listener of My Xbox and Me, you know my dad owns a game shop. The woman who works there, so we were meeting up and I didn't know what we were doing, so I wore something relatively nice. It wasn't like crazy nice, but just nice jacket, no hat, whatever. And she went, "Oh, Corey, you look so different." And I went, "Have you lost weight?" I'm like, "No, definitely not. Like, if there's one thing that hasn't happened, I haven't lost weight." And then she went, "Why do you look so different to me?" And I said to her, "Well, number one, I haven't seen you in a really long time. And number two, usually anytime you see me, I'm wearing a hat, or I'm wearing a tracksuit, or I've got a hood up." And she was like, "Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen you wear a pair of jeans before, ever." Yeah, it was funny from one of my dad's members of staff. It was interesting. I'm getting a look right now from Haley, like, how comes you've told that on the podcast, but you haven't told me that information? And I asked you because I've only just thought of it. You know what it's like. Yeah, I'm in trouble, guys. I'm in trouble. Anyway, this is My Xbox and Me, our weekly Xbox podcast, right here on youtube.com/myxboxandme and all podcast services. If you want to support the show, head over to patreon.com/mcfixer. I've got things to say about it, but we'll figure that out at one point. Find us on all podcast services. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you review us. And make sure you hit the subscribe button on the YouTube channel, please. Like, I get it. One thing I do want to start doing, Kresh.
Yeah.
Time codes. I want to bring time codes back. That's one thing I want to bring back. I want to bring back time codes, not even really for the podcast listeners, even though they'll be included, for me as an editor. And then I want to start clipping out our best bits.
Okay.
I feel like we need more bite-sized content, so I think we're going to go back to time codes. It will help a lot. Shout out to our Patreon producers, Erin Guard. Thank you for the support. Topic of the show this week. There is absolutely no news, hence why we spoke about my dad, Matt's wedding, and Kresh being boring at the start of the show.
And me.
And Matt, again, and Matt.
I meant my Xbox and me. It's the and me part of the podcast. You guys can get for it.
Yeah.
No, I'm on the side with Fix. I thought you were just like trying to plug yourself.
And me.
You talked about me.
Yeah, let's just talk about me more.
But the question came up just before the podcast, so we thought we would include it as topic of the show. Would Xbox get away with releasing Zelda? Insert what the game title is here, Kresh. What is it?
Tears of the Kingdom.
Thank you very much. Now, you might be saying to yourself, Fixer, how do you not know what the hell this game is called? This is a 10 out of 10 game, and you own a Switch, so I'm sure you're playing it and you've bought it and you're checking it out. Absolutely goddamn not. I don't play these Nintendo 10 out of 10 masterpiece games. No freaking way. But my question is to you guys, is it good, number one? Is Kresh, is it good?
I like it. I think it's good.
Okay. Is it a 10 out of 10 from what you've played so far?
I don't think I would personally label it a 10 out of 10.
Okay. Matt?
I totally agree. It is a good game. It is fun. I'm a lot less far into it than Kresh is. Yeah, I don't think I would give it a 10 out of 10. But again, we keep coming back to these discussions that we have of like, how do you review a game? When you give a game a 10 out of 10, what are you saying? Are you saying, if you have a Switch, you should absolutely go out and buy this thing?
Yeah, but that's probably a fair statement, right? Like, let's be honest. Yeah. Like, it's not like the Switch is getting a plethora of new games coming out that are of high quality. So the question here is, like, mainly, obviously, to bring it back to Xbox, is if Xbox would have released this game, would it have got 10 out of 10s?
No. And the reason being is what we get from this game is very much limited to the Switch. That if this exact game were to come out on the Xbox, similar when you're looking at Redfall, is the problem with Redfall is it came out on the series consoles and it was shipped being 60 frames per second and all this stuff. Yeah. It doesn't even live up to what the consoles are possible. I feel like this on the Switch lives up to what the Switch is capable of. It's more so the Switch is holding back this game very much. So with Redfall, I don't think that's necessarily the case, right?
Okay.
But also, I'm not having technical issues playing this game. I'm getting significant frame rate drops basically any time I use like one of the new abilities to pick something up or like. So that's pretty rough. Like that is the main body of this game.
So it happens, but it doesn't happen that often.
But enough to probably is it enough to
it's noticeable. It's noticeable. It doesn't happen to the case where it ruins the gameplay. It doesn't pull you out of the gameplay. Right.
My question is, a 10 out of 10 is considered amongst a lot of outlets and amongst a lot of people as a perfect game. Now, the fact that you've both already told me that tells me that it's not a 10 out of 10 because it's not a perfect game.
No, not a 10 out of 10.
But this is where we come back to, right? Like, the 10 out of 10 IGN scale is like masterpiece, right? And so that doesn't insinuate perfect necessarily. Like
masterpiece means no drop in frames.
No, it doesn't.
To me, it does.
Let's not do that.
Does it not? Does it not?
To you. No.
Interesting.
Masterpiece is that, because if that's the case, then something that would, like Witcher 3, that a lot of people would consider a masterpiece, not without its own issues.
I think it became a masterpiece
despite of its issues.
I think it became. Oh, okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. I think Witcher 3 is a masterpiece. I'd say it was, but after updates and a bunch of fixes and UI design fixes, and but now I play that game and it's a masterpiece. Not when I played it at launch.
But I think most people still viewed it as a masterpiece at launch as well.
But Kresh, wise man once told me,
opinions can be wrong. Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with you. But if we're going with the consensus of the public, right, which is what this conversation ultimately comes back to. Yeah, because if we're looking at something like Redfall, there are people who are enjoying the shit out of Redfall. It's one of their favorite games so far this year. Which more power to them.
Crazy people.
There's slight differences, right? Like when Breath of the Wild came out, everybody was like, "Whoa, this is amazing! Like, this is a real step up." And then for years, we were hearing, "Oh, Elden Ring is the Breath of the Wild of the From Software franchise. Halo Infinite is the Breath of the Wild of Halo, right? Because they made it open world, because they gave you this grapple hook and a new way to get around that world." If in 5 years' time, Halo Infinite 2 comes out, and it's the same map, and it's maybe a different traversal mechanic, and it looks the same graphically, and it is essentially the same core game, I think people dogpile on Xbox for that.
But is it the same game? Like, this is where I'm going to actually disagree with you, because the whole way you interact with that world has changed.
Sure.
But while the map,
I agree.
The base outline of the map is the same, the map itself is not actually the same, right?
Sure. But I think they could do something like that with Halo Infinite.
I think take a Halo game, put it back in the original Halo world, the original Halo map. People go crazy for that. That could get 10 out of 10s. No.
If they went back and did Halo 1, but like a retelling of the story,
not even a remake.
No. It's
not even a remake.
No, not
you're
remake. No,
exactly.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
People would go crazy for it.
Yeah, they
like
probably
to say that
would.
it wouldn't work.
Okay, and this doesn't again quite add up, but not if it was graphically the same, obviously, but like we've taken a much bigger leap. But my point is, like,
but you don't play Nintendo games. You don't play Nintendo games for graphics.
I understand that, and the Switch is definitely holding this big thing back, and yada yada yada. But like, I started it in handheld, and then was like, you know what? I'm gonna bust the dock out of the cupboard, dust it off, and put it in the TV, and went, this was much better when I was playing a handheld. This is significantly worse experience now for me, because this is dire. Yeah, man, I don't know. Like that's the thing that I keep coming down on, is like 10 out of 10s across the board, and I'm like, I don't necessarily think it's better so far than Breath of the Wild was.
I think I'm on board with you with that so far. Like, I prefer Breath of the Wild. I can see people really enjoy the creativity of taking like objects around the world and attaching them to your weapon and stuff like that.
Sure.
Really going all out with that. For me, I think I preferred the way weapons worked before, right? I don't like it having to attach stuff. I think the puzzles are more interesting in this one.
Hey, we're not reviewing this damn game. It's a Nintendo game, all right? I know you guys want to talk about it. I just need to know, if Xbox released this game, would it be getting 10 out of 10s?
As is, no. But that's because the Xbox is capable of more.
True.
And
that's
people
fair.
expect more from Xbox, especially when Xbox sells their consoles as premium devices. So Nintendo doesn't sell their consoles as premium devices. They never have.
Fair, I guess.
They sell it as fun devices, and based off all that criteria, to a degree, I could see this game deserving a 10 out of 10 because it fills a lot of the criteria that Nintendo sets for themselves. So
and look, I think you're right, and the mechanics are so fundamentally fun, like the combining stuff, the building stuff, the very Lego Minecraft aspects of it. That building their entire game around that seems fine. It seems fine.
Is there base building? Is there base building?
You could build a base if you wanted.
No, that's not okay. No, there's no base building.
No, there's no base building.
I was almost in. Almost. You almost had me. Almost had me.
I think you could enjoy it.
No, I didn't.
No, he won't enjoy it.
No.
Zero chance Fix enjoys this game.
Yeah, no. I don't really like games where you just like you get plopped in the world and it's like go figure it out. I'd never like those type of games.
I will say this game does, if you're interested in playing it, does similar to Elden Ring, create a stronger narrative. How stronger of a narrative, that's up to the player.
Oh yeah. Look, let's be realistic. I've never been a Zelda guy. I've played many a Zelda in my life. I had it on N64. And the amount of text there was back then, I was like, I don't get this game at all. And then now, even trying to play those games, I've never understood the hype. I'm happy that people love it. I'm happy that people are excited. Nothing makes me happier than when other people are happy about video games. Just the way anytime a Resident Evil drops that I actually care about. Hasn't been a while, but oh god, I just squirted cream all over myself. Yep, no, that was actually moisturizer. I accidentally lent on my bottle. All right, relax.
I was like, why is the cream on the desk?
Yeah. Oh, you don't have cocoa butter on your desk?
No, I do not.
White people problem. See, I'm black. I need cocoa butter. I know we got real racial with this episode. My bad.
I wasn't going to say anything. I knew I wasn't going to say anything.
Don't know why we got real racial in this episode. You know, I felt like I had to let people. Damn, I just let people know. There's going to be people. Wow.
It's going to be people. Fixes black. Oh my
mixed race, half white. But there's going to be people that have never watched the video before who have gone, do you know what? I've just blown people's minds. There's going to be somebody, okay, I need you to write in. If you didn't know that I was mixed race, I need you to write in. My Xbox and Me podcast@gmail.com, or write a message on Twitter or the Discord. Bro, can you... Does it not blow your mind that there's people listening to this episode who have never seen our faces?
I mean, we say probably every other episode you've got to be watching the YouTube because something
dumb happens, but they don't. We see numbers. We know. We see the numbers.
I know. Especially when you're on Unlocked, and there are people who are definitely listening. Like, I would love to know what Unlocked's audio-only numbers are versus their video. But anyway,
ridiculous. Audio numbers must be ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. And so you got to think, like, of the tiny percentage of people that come and find our stupid little podcast because you're on Unlocked, most of them are probably listening audio only and have no idea that you are
mixed race. Crazy.
Until you just said. Unbelievable.
Yeah, sorry, I had that revelation in my head there. Sorry, I kind of derailed the show, but hey, sometimes that's what happens here on my Xbox and Me. Kresh, podcast reviews, my friend. Do we have any new ones? Wait. There's no way Team America have come through for you again. And
they came through. America's whooping you guys' ass.
And you know what? It's crazy to think about, really, because, you know, all those medical bills, all those nans in the Americas are running up, and we could kick our nan down the stairs for free. Fix me.
It's true. It's true. I mean? And you're not wrong.
You guys are slacking, and you guys can do it for free. That's
exactly.
All right, hit me, Kresh. What we got?
This was just the other day on Tuesday. Putting in that work is the title of it. 5 stars from Mr. 667490.
Okay.
I've been listening to you guys for about the last 3 years.
Wait, stop. 3 years. Stop.
Never wrote in.
You haven't reviewed this podcast for 3 years. You were like, I'm waiting until year 3 to see if the narrative really gets going on this podcast. Carry on.
He couldn't find his nan for 3 years. He's been looking for it.
I was gonna say.
And you guys have become a must-listen to podcast every week. Keep up the good work. Nice, short, simple, sweet. 5 stars.
We love it. We love it. I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm sorry. I now think next week's 8 years, and I'm like, how has anybody made it through that much for 8 years? There's people who have been listening to this podcast for 8 years.
It's always mind-blowing to me that, like, I think 2 years I've been on it now. Well, is that right?
But
was it 3?
Longer than that, 3 probably, right? Because COVID. You was here for all the COVID. That was 2 years ago.
And I was here for 300.
Yeah.
And I'd been around for what? Maybe it's 3 years.
Do you know what's crazy? This is the new, like, this is the longest we've had probably hosts. Which is like, you've been here for so long, Kresh has been here for so long. But I love you both. I want you both to know I love you both. But when I think,
I do not like where this is going.
We have the podcast now. Can we go?
I'm
not contractually supposed to be here, right?
When I think my Xbox and Me, I still think Ross and Kevin.
Oh, well, yeah.
Those were the early days. That's like where a lot of what it is was conceived.
Yeah.
You know?
So I still think them. And then, like, I did Unlocked, and I was like, oh, yeah, Matt and Kresh. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's weird. My partners, Matt and Kresh. I'm like, oh, God. I should probably stop cancelling on them, like, 2 minutes before we're meant to record. I had a good reason this week. But, yeah, thank you for liking the podcast. Honestly, we're a bunch of idiots. We just like talking about... This is the most fun I get to have about talking video games with anybody. Like the nitty-gritty stuff, the things that we don't understand, the things we do understand, blah, 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 blah. Like, yeah.
Just, for sure. That's why we keep coming back every week.
Yeah, 100%. All right, let's jump into what's been in our box. Kresh, what you been playing this week, my dude?
Nothing.
Yeah, no, I respect it. Redfall really killed you, didn't it?
Yeah, and then this came out. Zelda came out. So yeah, I still have to jump back into Resident. I got stuff. The thing is, I have stuff to play, and I look at it. I open up my Steam. I open up my Xbox. I look at it. I'm like, I have stuff to play.
Yeah. You've got
one
everything.
thing I will mention.
You've got so much to play.
That's kind of a problem as well. It's like I have a list of stuff to play now. It's like I got to get to it before the list becomes too big, right?
Yeah.
I will say, I canceled my Game Pass subscription.
Oh.
Yep. I'm canceling it until the showcase, and then we'll decide from there. The reason I did is shortly after Redfall, there was a narrative going around on Twitter, which isn't an incorrect narrative of Redfall being a commercial success because of the amount of people that played it.
Yeah.
So I decided the only way I can really communicate, I come on the podcast and talk, but the more efficient way to communicate, my money. So I canceled it for the time being.
So all I'm hearing is, I'm going to hit Fixer up and ask him to reach out to someone from Microsoft for Game Pass because I'm done with paying these motherfuckers. Okay, I've got it, Crash. I've got it. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll hit somebody up. I'll hit somebody up for you. I promise. I'm on it. Of course. No, I respect that, to be fair. Like, they've not shown you a reason. They've not respected you as a Game Pass subscriber for the last 3 months. They've not. But when was Hi-Fi Rush? When was that?
Hi-Fi Rush was
February,
beginning of the year. Yeah.
February. So since then they haven't respected you. Why should you keep paying? Like, realistically, on the first party front. So no, more power to you. I'm still good on Game Pass till 2024. So
like, I don't gotta deal with that.
What I did do though, funny you say that, I was still getting charged because I think I was paying for either Haley's or my sister's. On her Xbox. So I ended up throwing in the bank and being like, yo, stop these subscriptions. Like, I'm done with it. EA Play, I don't need that no more. Like, I'm good. So yeah, I actually stopped mine as well. So Microsoft would be hurting. They're going to be hurting. From us too, they're going to be hurting. What about you, Matt? What about you? What have you stopped?
No, nothing. I'm still a shill. I'm still paying for all the things. You know what? Like it is now just my Valheim subscription that I'm paying for each month for some reason. And Valheim's a cheap game, so that now I'm the mug. I was calling everybody else a mug last week. Now I'm the mug. But no, I did try some other bits and bobs. I played Ravenlock. That came out.
What's that?
No? It is baby's first third-person action-adventure game. It's pretty, and it's interesting. It's on Game Pass. It's like, it feels like somebody made a game in dreams, and it's really good, but it's a dreams game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the vibe.
Yeah, I understand exactly what you mean by that.
And then I was playing it, and I was like, like for example, like every character, every enemy I've run into so far, you can stun lock, and they all have no awareness whatsoever. So even if there's a group of 3 of them all stood around, you can kill one before it's even noticed you or any of its mates have noticed you. And like, I don't know if I've had an enemy attack me yet. It's one of those kind of, it feels a bit janky. But it's very pretty, and it's like a whimsical, childlike story. And so I'm like, this isn't for me. It's Peppa Pig. When I'm not out here chatting shit on Peppa Pig, do you know what I mean? But it's serving the Peppa Pig people, and I feel like Ravenlock is, if your kids aged out of Peppa Pig, get them on Ravenlock. I'm sure they'll enjoy it.
Respect. If they've thousand you Peppa Pig already,
which we know they have.
Which they have, 100%. We know that's the only reason why you let them touch your Xbox.
Is anybody still really doing that with the just getting the easy 1000G games? People are started doing that.
100. If there's still a culture of achievement hunters. Yeah. Haley's literally doing it right now.
Oh, that's true. For Hogwarts.
Literally right now, she's on her third. She smiles as she says she's on her third playthrough right now, and she has to get each of the houses to the map room, and then she will have 1000G the game. So she's done. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she's gone and done. And she, Jesus Christ, can you hear her? Did you hear that?
No. Flipping it now.
Bro, I told you, if you want to be on the podcast, be on the podcast. Stop whispering. Haley wants me to tell Crash her bestie, and she killed all the spiders.
She killed the spiders?
She did kill the spiders.
I'm proud of her.
Chris is proud of you. Yeah.
They updated the game to have an arachnophobia mode.
Yeah, but too late. She's already done it now. Sure. Yeah, but that was a big part. But me, I've been playing some video games. I played WWE 2K23. That's my new. So I've learned that. So someone tell me on the internet if I can do this or not. I've learned that I can play. I can stream Steam games to my Steam Deck from my PC.
Mm-hmm.
But does anyone know if I can turn my PC off from the Steam Deck? Now that's what I need to know. I would assume not. I would assume you can't, but that's the only thing that's holding me back from using it more, because I don't want to get out of bed to turn off the PC. It's a pain in the arse, you know what I mean? But anyway, yeah, playing WWE. I started my career mode, and then my Steam Deck died, so I couldn't even. I got to the character creation part, literally all the way through it. I've sat there for about an hour doing it, and then my Steam Deck died, and I was like, well, that's upsetting.
I was gonna ask you how it was.
Look, I haven't played yet. I've played the game. Yeah. The game itself is very fun, very pretty. But yeah, no, I didn't get to play the career mode, unfortunately.
Do they still have GM mode in WWE?
They do.
Games?
They've added it back this year. This year's, I think, it's the first year it came back. Yeah, you got Universe mode, GM mode, which GM mode back on the PSP version, 2006, was fire. I loved GM mode back then. Yeah. I also played Fall Guys. Yeah, I took a little break from RP due to getting banned. It was a false ban. It was a false ban. It was a false ban.
It was out there cheating, guys.
I wasn't. That's what it was for. It's for cheating. Yeah. I'm like, bro, I don't even shoot anybody. What do you mean? So yeah, I got banned. So then my community was like, just play games with us. Like, and I had my friend Raya, who also RP. She was like, do you want to play Fall Guys? And I was like, do you know what? Yeah, go on then. Like, why not? Bro, I forgot how fun Fall Guys is. Like, just a stupid, dumb. We played for about 3-4 hours, and we didn't get a single crown, and I didn't care. Like, it's got that very fun, interesting loop of you, and they've got duo mode now as well. So we're playing duos, and it's like we're progressing to the finals and just missing out each time. We're just missing. So we're getting like second place each time, which would be really cool if they did like a podium at the end. I know they do the first place gets it, but if they had first, second, and third, I'd be rewarded even more. But whatever, that's neither here nor there. They've added a bunch of new maps and modes and game things on there. A lot of fun, like a lot of fun. So I really enjoyed that. They've got custom creations now as well. Like
you can build
your own stuff. Yeah, I believe so. So that was really cool as well. I didn't check that out, but that was cool knowing that's in there, because I imagine they're going to find the best ones and start curating them and then pushing them to the forefront. Yeah. So, yeah, that. And then I played Surgeon Simulator 2, which, again, another friend hit me up and was like, yo, do you want to play Surgeon Sim? And I was like, I don't know why I would want to play this game. Played it for about 2 hours. So much fun. Much fun. We played it with 3 of us, and we were just being dumb the whole time. Just being absolute dumbos, putting arms on legs, legs on arms, legs on heads, like just absolutely stupid stuff.
How does Surgeon Sim work in co-op?
Chaos.
It's just nuts.
Is like everybody controls their own person, or everybody controls a hand?
Everyone controls their own person, and you're just.
I was wondering if it was one of the games like where you guys are each controlling part of
the body. Okay. No.
Yeah,
you've all only got one arm, like you do, and then it honestly, it was some of the most fun I've had like in a long time. I was like, damn, and we played it on Game Pass, so yeah, hence why you should always have Game Pass, you know.
Yeah.
Imagine not having Game Pass.
Yeah, crazy.
Crazy. But yeah, so that's what I've been playing. Yeah, Matt, what have you been playing? Other
than Zelda, other than Ravenlock, I put a little bit more time into Jedi. I've got all 4 stances now. I'm making some progress. My opinions haven't changed on it since last week, so go watch that episode if you want to hear about them. And also another weird little game that I just spotted on Game Pass. I was very, very hungover, and it felt like the perfect hungover game, and I played it for like 3 or 4 hours, and it was great. Called Potion Craft, which is just like you own a little potion shop, and people come and ask you to make potions, and you make them potions. And yeah, try and haggle more for money and help out people who are doing evil shit or not. Your decision. It's great. Did the job. Got me through my hangover. Moving on.
Perfect. Matt, hangover? No way, Crash.
Never.
You know Matt drinks. That's crazy.
Crazy. Also, another reason why I want to go to Matt's wedding. He's going to be absolutely sloshed.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that face. Let's get to this week's dashboard. Starfield has leaked its ESRB rating, giving us a glimpse of the game's features. It is getting a M rating for mature, which means there will be violence, blood, suggestive themes, strong language, and a use of drugs. Kresh, you put this one in. Is there any key moments here that I need to read to the audience?
I don't.
It's gonna have sex and it's gonna have jetpacks. That's what we learned. That's the important shit.
Perfect. Yeah. I mean, I'm more excited today than I was yesterday about Starfield.
Yeah, I heard a interesting rumor that I don't know if it's true or not, that id Software it supported, after the last showing they had for gameplay, that id Software came and helped them with gameplay to a degree. I don't know how accurate this is or anything like that. I have no validity for this, but I just want to point out that my expectations for the gunplay has unfairly gone up quite a bit.
Yeah,
unfairly.
That's not fair.
I'm saying
That's
unfairly.
not fair.
I'm being very
That's not
I'm being
fair.
very open with that. Very unfair, right? I'm not, that's just a joke. I don't know if it's true. I'm not holding it to any standard.
Yeah.
But if that is the case, I think that'd be interesting and dope. Regardless, I think an M rating for a game like this is very cool. Have their past games been rated M?
They must. Like
have done,
Fallout
right?
3 has sex, and so does Skyrim, and drug taking, obviously, and all sorts. So yeah, I'm sure they've all been M.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Moving on. Go on. No, please don't move on, please. Bringing it back.
Bringing it back. I'm still very excited for Starfield. Redfall hasn't done anything to dampen that necessarily, but
to be fair, I don't think it should, right? Two completely different studios, completely different situations, also completely different type of games.
It's tangential, but it's like the first games coming out from Microsoft owned shit, like straight into Game Pass. These are the games that you're telling us we're going to be wanting to be playing for the next 3 months until the next one hits.
Yeah.
And Redfall was not it.
No, Redfall's not it, but I do think Starfield could be it for a very large portion of the audience. I will say, Starfield is the first game coming out of this merger that I would have been like, oh yeah, people will buy an Xbox or play it on PC for this. Because I've watched the Bethesda showcases along with Kresh, and we both used to say, like, look at you always see it in there, but used to see it in their showcases, the cosplay, the fan fiction, the this, that, like, they have a very, very hardcore and dedicated audience. And you would imagine 99% of those people, not 99%, that's way stupid stat. You would imagine 70% of those people played on PlayStation. I would have thought so. So, yeah, I'm interested. I am very, very, very interested. Another thing that I learned, speaking to my dad, actually, because, again, he owns a game shop, he has no Xboxes in his store. So my dad does kids' birthday parties. No.
Oh.
My dad does kids' birthday parties, but video game birthday parties and stuff like that. And he had found that anytime there was an Xbox on the TV, kids just wouldn't use it. They would refuse
Kids
to.
Are dumb. Kids are dumb.
But I think it speaks volumes to the way Xbox is looked at right now. Again, this is one man's little shop that does kids' birthday parties. Like, we ain't gonna worry about it too much. But I did find it interesting that he has none, and there's not like there's no kid that comes in and goes, "Oh, I want to play on Xbox." No, he has no Xboxes in his shop anymore. Crazy.
Yeah, that's mad.
I think it's crazy. Like, considering when I used to work there, the 360 was the machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if you didn't have an Xbox and you had a PS3, people were like, nah. We want to play 360. Like, so, yeah, it's just a interesting place for Xbox to be in, I guess. Moving on. Game showcase schedule, according to Jeff Grubb, is looking like this. Week of May 25th, PlayStation Showcase. I'm super excited for that, by the way. I think we might still do a watch-along for that.
Is that confirmed? Is that not just rumored?
It's rumored by multiple people.
According to Jeff Grubb.
Yeah.
We're not reporting. We're not saying anything.
None of these. A lot of these, I don't think have official dates.
Yeah.
I think a lot of these are just like stuff Jeff Grubb's heard.
Yeah.
But multiple sources, multiple like people who are like pretty accurate with their leaks and whatnot, have said that that's the week that a PlayStation Showcase should be going down.
I'm excited.
I'm sure that variable can change like last second, pushing it a week or whatnot.
PlayStation typically announce like days before, right?
Yeah,
maybe a week before. Yeah,
and they have very good
before.
showcases. Like to give credit where credit's due to PlayStation. Every time I skip one, I always come away from it going, man, I wish I didn't skip that. I wish I didn't skip that. I wish I experienced that with my audience. So I'm in. And obviously a lot of rumors coming out right now when it comes to PlayStation, Metal Gear Solid, and lots of stuff.
Are we gonna talk about that one at all?
What? Go ahead, please.
Metal Gear Solid rumored to be exclusive. I do know that Jez Corden came out with a rumor afterwards that, again, don't know how accurate, it's a rumor. Not exclusive, more likely to be timed exclusive, but with timed exclusive, who knows what that means, right?
Like Final Fantasy 7. It's coming last year.
Yeah.
In the same thread, and I think we talked about this last week before, something like that, he said, and if you're a fan of Dead Rising, you might get excited too.
Is that from PlayStation?
Well,
no, that wasn't
not,
to PlayStation, but it was
just kind of chatting to somebody in the thread of that tweet discussion.
So, I didn't know this. Don't get me excited
for every showcase coming out.
Don't get me excited. Don't do it, because interesting.
But as far as the PlayStation showcase goes, it's gonna be Spider-Man. It's gonna get Spider-Man shit, isn't we? So I'm excited.
I get to embarrass myself again by calling Venom the Lizard. Oh my god, it's the lizard! I can't believe I said that on a reaction stream. What an idiot. Anyway, next one, June 7th, you have Tribeca Festival. Don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Next one, you have Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest. After that, on June 9th, you have... is that Keighley again?
I don't know exactly.
Was it?
Key 3 Days of Play.
No idea.
June 11th, you have the Xbox
Hey, hold on. Just because Jeff Grubb missed it off, let's not miss it off. June 10th, Future Game Show.
Yeah, sorry. I apologize. I apologize. That's on me.
Before this, I was just mad at Jeff Grubb, but now I'm mad at you two.
No, I'm sorry. That's on me. That is on me. Next up, June 11th, you've got Xbox plus Bethesda Showcase. June 11th, again after that, you have the Starfield Direct. June 12th, Ubisoft Forward. June 25th, Summer Games Concert. June 27th, you have GDC Showcase. July 20th, San Diego Comic-Con. August 10th, QuakeCon. August 11th, THQ Nordic. I guess that's a showcase. Just as a studio name. August 23rd, you have Gamescom. September, you have Nintendo Live. September as well, PAX West. September 24th, Tokyo Game Show. And then December 8th, the Game Awards. So we got a lot coming. I'd say I'm interested in probably 50% of it, to be fair. So, not a bad number.
Yeah.
Not a bad number at all.
According to Jez, again, a lot of according to Jez is here.
There's
a couple of stuff, showcase and stuff like that missing from here as well.
But to give credit to Jez is he don't usually speak too out of pocket.
Yeah.
I'm expecting a Capcom showcase of some sort as well, where they're going to show off the Resident Evil 4 DLC. So,
also there will be Gamescom is one entry in there, right? Which means Xbox probably have a showcase at Gamescom as well. And so will Future Game Show. So
I don't know about Xbox having one. I might go Gamescom this year.
I just wanted to raise it.
Yeah, they did. I know they did, but I'm just saying I don't know. I might go Gamescom this year.
Ooh.
I've never been to Germany.
You've never been to Germany? Obviously.
You've never been to Germany? How dare you?
No. When you said I've never been to Germany, I was going to say, really? You've never been to Gamescom? But
never.
They are kind of cohesive together. So yes, that makes
never
sense.
been to Gamescom. Never been to Germany. But I am doing Vegas, and maybe this year's the year I just do things. Because
keep finding in Vegas. When's that?
October.
Wow.
And then Paris is July.
Gamescom in the middle.
Gamescom in the middle of those.
Pretty neat sandwich to me.
Hayley, do you want to go Germany? She shrugs yeah, sure, why not? Because I'm spoiled. I'm spoiled and get brought everywhere. Sorry, that's personal. My bad. Moving on. Street Fighter 6 open beta for Xbox PC is set to begin on May 19th. Roster detailed as well. Capcom has announced that the beta will be May 19th to May 21st, 2023. There will be an open beta hosted for the upcoming fighting game Street Fighter 6. The open beta will also allow players on Xbox Series X, PS5, PC via Steam to participate in a experience.
Participate and experience.
Thank you. Content, character creation, ranked, casual online matches, 8 playable characters, and more. Kresh, you excited?
Yes, I'm very excited. Although a little bit confused, only because the game is 3 weeks away. It comes out June 2nd. So by that time, it'll be 2 weeks away before. Which I guess you want to check server stability and whatnot. It makes sense from that regard.
Yeah, Diablo doing the same thing, right? Open beta's like 2-3 weeks out.
No, the game's
Slam
2-3 weeks out. The Slam's
Yeah,
I think that's what matters.
Oh, okay. That's not what you said. That's not what you said, all right? Just so you know, that's not what you said. All right, my bad.
Be telepathic.
Yeah.
Come on.
You're right. Reports have come out that Mortal Kombat.
That one too?
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat 1 is getting a reboot with a full reveal and launch date imminent. Ed Boon, the co-creator of the iconic fighting franchise Mortal Kombat, has released a teaser for the next entry in the series. This was followed up by a leak from Twitter user Bill Kun. By launching on Xbox Series X/S, PS5, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Mortal Kombat, I'm not even reading that because we all know what Mortal Kombat is. Kresh, once again, our fighting game guy.
Yeah.
Excited?
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat 1, iconic game.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see what they do story-wise and character-wise, because there's been a whole lot of characters that are children's of characters and generally like younger characters in the franchise. I'm curious what they do with those characters, because this is supposed to be a complete reboot. How will they incorporate those characters? Do they incorporate them? Do they only leave them as DLC characters? Like, hey, they're not a part of the story of the narrative, but we still want to give you guys these characters. A lot of interesting stuff they could do there. But very, very good year for fighting games with this Street Fighter and Tekken supposedly, at least aiming to launch this year or early next year. Very, very solid. Again, Jess Corden. Shout out to Jess Corden. He had.
Maybe I should try and get him for next week. Like, damn, like he gets a lot of shots.
He does. Apparently, there's already 2 season pass characters rumored for it, which is Peace.
Oh yeah, Peacekeeper.
I forget which one it is.
Keeper.
Peacekeeper and Homelander, which very interesting. I'd be more surprised if Homelander ends up panning out, but I could see it. I think it works in the game. Very, very interested for this game and where this game goes.
I mean, I'm more excited for Street Fighter this year, which is crazy. They got me, bro. They actually got me, Kresh. Like, ain't that crazy? They got me.
Yeah. I think for the more casual audience, especially like the Western casual audience, Mortal Kombat's always been the go-to.
Yeah.
But I think Street Fighter's World Tour mode and stuff like that is going to be a very easy way to get the casual audience into the game. And I think that'll be a really, really big thing for Street Fighter, that I wouldn't be surprised in future iterations of games if they start incorporating that type of stuff as well to a bigger degree.
Yeah, I mean, if it's done well, then yeah, I'm sure it will be stolen from everyone, but we'll see.
Yeah.
So, again, I was at my dad's shop, and he has a Marvel vs. Capcom 2 arcade cabinet. Sick. And I said to him, look, and I'll ask you for nothing, yeah? The only thing I want is that arcade machine. When you do pass, that's all I want. And he was like, maybe. So I'll take that, Kresh. Okay, he's got Street Fighter 1 as well. He's got Street Fighter and Marvel vs. Capcom, which is
Street Fighter. What, like?
I think it's 2. I think it's 2
turbo or something.
Yeah, 2 turbo. I think. Which is yeah. I said, bro, I like having an arcade in my house. That would be nuts.
I've always said that.
Yeah, like I have to get a house big enough, but having an arcade machine in your house just casually, I bet that'd be so fun.
I always said if I won the lottery, I'd get the Jurassic Park arcade cabinet that was like a light gun game inside the Jeep from Jurassic Park.
Have you seen the Resident Evil one? The Resident Evil. No. There's a Resident Evil light gun. It's not light gun as in like light gun. It's like a gun, but you push it forward and move left to right with it. Resident Evil arcade machine for Code Veronica. I only saw it once when I went and did a holiday at like a Coombe Haven, and they had it, and I spent all my money on that machine.
That's dope. So the gun is attached to the cabinet.
Yep.
Unlike normal light gun games.
Yep.
And is a joystick and a gun.
Yes.
Got it.
Crazy.
Weird. Why would they do that when House of the Dead exists and showed you how to do this?
No, it's better than House of the Dead.
Wow, okay. House of the Dead 2, I would also buy if I won the lottery.
House of the Dead 2, fantastic. Cares, Time Crisis 2 as well.
Oh, yeah. I'd just get them all.
Yeah, I'd have a whole room of just arcades. And I could play it with all my friends. I don't have any friends. Moving on.
Would never get used.
Yeah, moving on. There's something to fix the sack. Remember, you can email in myxboxandmepodcast@gmail.com, or you can hit us up in the Discord. Link is in the description below, or hit us up on Twitter, #MXAM. I am at mcfixer. Kresh is at kreshnik plays. Matt P is at Matt P Video. First question is from Original Cookie Man, and he says, have Xbox turned an advertising corner? I keep seeing new ads all over the place on social media, soft drink bottles, and seeing slogans like "Good luck, have fun." Is it me, or is this new PR? I haven't seen this, so
I saw they were giving away Game Pass. I want to say it was Lucasade or something. I did see this that the Cookie Man is maybe referencing. Although is Cookie Man UK or not?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Right.
I think so. I think so.
I have not been seeing these ads around, and so the last bunch of ads I saw and assumed they spent all their money on was, "Hey, we should buy Activision UK."
Yeah,
you cool with that? And the UK went, "No, we're not." So yeah, I haven't been seeing a lot of advertising around, but this is always a difficult conversation to have, right? Because it's like, well, the thing we always talk about is like going to the cinema and seeing a bunch of fucking PlayStation ads and going like, come on, Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you drink a lot of Lucasade and you're all about that free Game Pass on Lucasade, go for it.
I used to be. I'm diabetic now. I'm not that Lucasade.
To be fair, Xbox has been doing stuff like that with like Rockstar energy drinks and stuff like that with Gears of War and Halo.
Mm-hmm.
I think Halo also had like Doritos and stuff like that. They've been doing things like that for a while. I don't think it's a new PR, Dawn. I don't like the trailer he has linked is very much a Game Pass trailer, and we've talked about it. Game Pass isn't necessarily an Xbox trailer, right? And the last game that they heavily advertised that was just a game advertisements was Redfall, and we saw how Redfall turned out, right? So,
but I do think that we will now start. Like, I think Starfield is going to be their next Halo. Yeah. Like, it's mainstream enough. They can try to make people who don't already have Xboxes, people who don't already have Game Pass, give a fuck in a way that they might actually look into getting it. And those are the people that you want. Yeah. And Starfield has the power to do it. So
those are also the games that you're pretty sure are going to be successful regardless, are probably the ones where you also want to get it out there and be like, hey, here's a live action trailer for this thing to really get people invested. Because one thing Sony does really good is that they're not always animated trailers. They do a lot of different types of trailers to pull people into, oh, what is this? I remember when they did the Spider-Man one not too long ago. When it was first coming out, people were like, oh, it's a new movie. It's this, that, and the third. It was a commercial for the game, right?
And like even for God of War Ragnarok, they did that thing with like Ben Stiller and...
Yes, which was hysterical.
Like, it was great, like an SNL-like skit for God of War. Yeah, we've never seen anything like that out of Xbox. Now's the time. Come on. Let's go, Starfield. Let's see it everywhere. I want to get sick of it. Kind of already am, if I'm honest with you, but only because showcases and delays and whatever. Put it everywhere. Put it in the tube.
Put it in the tube. Okay.
Put it in the tube.
Put it in the
only
tube.
Because that's what they did with the Activision deal, right? That's what
Origin Cookie Man also has this to say, what I find most fascinating about online discussions around Xbox is that The focus on mass market appeal / one in a generation game of the year AAA exclusives release above all else. What would be the equivalent in the Premier League football terms? A focus on the Champions League, highest football accolade, over and above the Premier League title performance / title. Surely not a single defeat, e.g. poor review for Redfall, defines the overall performance of a season. I see what you're saying here. I totally understand the analogy you're going with. But Xbox are pretty much the team that I support, which is Tottenham Hotspur. They're in amongst the fight, but there's no real chance of winning. And nobody it's literally equivalent for me, because we're in amongst the fight, but we have no chance of winning. We have a rich owner who won't put money into us, and we have a once in a generational superstar, being Harry Kane, and we don't build our team around him in the right ways. And that's kind of the exact way I look at Xbox, is they have all the money in the world, but they don't invest it in what I think a lot of us believe to be the right ways. The Activision deal I think would have been the right way. I don't think that any of us disagree on that. It would have been a great thing to happen for Xbox. Yeah. And then there's and I get your point on one bad game, meaning no pun intended, no one bad game football terms, one bad game Redfall. It's not one bad game. It's not one spanking that you got beat 7-0. And I'm a Tottenham fan. That happened to us. Like, we lost 6-1 the other day to Newcastle, right? It's not that. It's Redfall is a 30-hour experience that is, for a game to have a poor review of a 4 from a AAA, from one of the big three, is just not something we come to expect.
Yeah, and the difference is like, again, we're stretching this analogy thin as about a break, but if there were only 7 or 8 games in a season, in a year, in the football, then that 6-1 defeat would hurt even more, right? And that's what Redfall is. We're going to get 6, 7, 8 games this year that are supposed to get you in and excited for Game Pass and Xbox. Redfall was one of them, and it was a 6-1 kick in the face. So,
yeah, and their victories aren't. I don't know. Do they have minor leagues? Do you guys play in minor leagues?
Yeah, we've got lower divisions. Yeah,
it'd be like them winning a whole bunch of stuff in lower divisions because of how niche some of the games that they've succeeded in. Not to say that it's not a success. Not to say like Pentiment. I constantly bring up Pentiment. That's a big game. A lot of people really love Pentiment. That's still a very niche game. At the end of the day, right?
It's like Tottenham going on a run to the Carling Cup final. We all know that's the trash cup. No one cares. Like, you can beat all these crap teams to get to a cup final, but you still lose in the end. So,
Kresh and I are working really hard to stick with this analogy, and I'm struggling.
The people who know, they know, okay? The people who know,
100%. It all made sense to me.
This next one comes in from Hero Jeff, who says, I'm always looking for new games to play, especially smaller / indie games. What are your recommendations for hidden gems or sleeper hits on Game Pass? Well, I'll say Surgeon Simulator 2. Again, it's one of those games that I downloaded and played. It did not expect to have as much fun with it as I was expecting to be honest. Matt, you're kind of the guy who plays a lot more of these type of smaller titles. In comparison to me, you got anything?
Yeah, it's like a lot of the ones that are coming to mind are like co-op, fun, dick around with your mates experiences. I put Valheim in there. I put Deep Rock Galactic in there. I'd say Deep Rock Galactic could be a good time on your own as well, but significantly better with friends. Yeah, I'm sure. Like, It Takes Two. Remember, It Takes Two is fucking on Game Pass. Incredible game. That's a bit smaller and more niche and more indie, but again, a co-op experience. I
don't know how many of those games I would argue are hidden gems or sleeper hits.
The problem is realistically, I play AAA titles. Yeah, that's what I play. So I can only give you the small titles that I do play. So Coffee Talk, great game.
Not a sleeper hit or a hidden gem.
Do you think?
People love that thing. Yeah, especially on Game Pass. People have talked about it highly since it came out on Game Pass. Absolutely not a hidden gem.
Okay.
At least I wouldn't consider it a hidden gem. But again, I'm more involved, so maybe
Yeah,
I've heard it more because I'm more involved.
I think Deep Rock is like one of the ones whenever you see like a Reddit thread that's like, hey, I'm looking for co-op games, or they're like, everybody's always like fucking Deep Rock. So I get that.
Have either of you played?
Let me have a think on this. I mean, next week, leave this question in the dock, and next week I'll have a better answer for you.
Deal. Have either of you played a cassette base yet?
No, but I've heard very good things.
Yeah, it's on Game Pass.
No, I haven't.
I'm gonna install it right now. Yeah, forgot about that one. That was one that I saw in a showcase, and I was like, "Oh, that looks interesting. I like music. I like Pokemon. That seems cool."
Ooh, Artful Escape.
Moving on. Raya says, on a similar note, we're coming up to a halfway point of the year. What are your Game of the Year contenders so far, and what games are you most looking forward to for the rest of the year? Oh, great question. Game of the Year so far is between Dead Space Remake and Resident Evil 4, with Hi-Fi Rush coming in third place for me, I think. Which should be no surprise. I like survival horror games. I like third-person action games. Those are two games that are literally in my wheelhouse. But yeah, those are definitely my Game of the Year contenders so far.
I think I'm with you on literally all of those. I'd probably put Dead Space a little bit above Resident Evil so far, but I will say I don't expect any of those to be my Game of the Year. I could see them not even making top 5 later in the year, possibly. Because like while I like those and I like them a lot, they're not the game where I know like, oh, they're definitely going to be up there for me for sure, without a doubt, right? They're not super into my genre. Yeah, but all super solid games. I could see one of those possibly being Game of the Year if the rest of the year doesn't pan out the way I assume it would, right?
Biggest disappointment right now, not that you asked me this, probably Hogwarts Legacy.
What?
Ooh.
Not that you were disappointed with the game, but that it's not going to rank as highly on your lists as you would have thought going into the game.
You summed up my thoughts perfectly. Literally, it's just it was one of those games that I was super hyped about playing when going in. Enjoyed my time with it for the first 10 hours, and then was like, I'm kind of okay with this being my experience. Like I've watched Haley play it 3 times over now, and I'm like, yeah, nah, I'm good.
I totally agree with you. I think like I explored that world and was wowed, and then everything that was trying to kind of push me through the game, like the story and the characters and everything else, I was like, this is all underwhelming to the nth degree. Like one of the side quests, it's a main side quest, I guess, but is way more enthralling than the main storyline, and still not that good. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, so I don't know.
Another game that disappointed me, I don't know if I ever spoke about it on the podcast, but Road 96 Mile Zero.
No way. I still haven't got to it.
Absolutely trash.
No. That is gutting.
Dude, you're not ready for how bad it is. Like,
don't talk about it. We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, sure.
Have you played it?
No, I'm gonna play it. I'll play it. We'll talk about it next week.
Oh shit! Well, in that case, I'll try and get Emma together, and we'll play it this week as well.
I will be so surprised if you guys don't go, what the fuck is this?
No, that's heartbreaking.
I could be wrong, because I know the narrative there is actually very strong, but what is in between it is one of the biggest upsets I've ever had in my life.
Damn.
Matt looks destroyed.
I am, because
that was a stream for top 5.
This game is so well done.
I agree.
Like, all they really had to do for me, like, it could be the same formula for me, and just with different story, and they haven't done that.
Play it, you'll see.
Man, because like I was kind of thinking about when we were chatting about Hogwarts Legacy then, and talking about Tears of the Kingdom being, you know, I think it's harsh to call it Breath of the Wild DLC. But you essentially have that world that you've stuck extra stuff onto. I still think it's a fully fledged sequel, yada yada. That's an argument for another day. But you could so do that with Hogwarts Legacy. Like, you've built that world, change the time period, or don't even fucking bother changing the time period. Just give me another character to run around, a different story. Like, so easy. File, save as, Hogwarts Legacy 2. Done. And I wonder if there'll be some like crazy mods that start coming out in sort of 6 months' time where people have made their own games inside of Hogwarts Legacy. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
Will somebody make a Quidditch?
What?
Did you see they're doing a free-to-play Quidditch game,
Yeah, I
and
did
that's
see
why
that.
people are saying that game didn't
I
have
think that's-
Quidditch.
I don't believe that.
I don't think that's it either. I think they know that they're onto. They've got a obviously a huge franchise on their hands, and they're like, why would we waste all of this in one game? We need to add something.
Well, that's a big.
I bet you've got to imagine that the initial pitch for a Harry Potter, a Hogwarts game set at the school had Quidditch in it.
Yeah.
I would have thought it's a very difficult thing to pull off. Like flying around the open world versus flying around in a 4-on-4, 5-on-5 sport based, totally different ball game.
Yeah.
And I bet there was, you got to get the game out the door. Are you going to dedicate a whole team to making a Quidditch side quest thing? I'm sure there was back and forth on it for a while before they decided to not include it in the game. And I'm sure eventually it will get included in this or a sequel. So
yeah, I think it is actually a good sign of the developer to like have the opposite of feature creep, where usually developers are very much like they keep adding stuff and it's like, hey, this isn't really feasible for us to do this justice right now.
Yeah.
But it's just cut it out and not like lead people on with it, which I'm pretty sure pretty early on they were like, yeah, no, we're not having Quidditch. It's not a question of like, there might be Quidditch or not. They didn't play around with it, which I think is good.
I think the thing I like as well in the game, they literally say like it's not a strong narrative, but no, it means necessary. But there is a narrative there of like, oh, Quidditch is cancelled, and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and even some students just offhandedly being like, this is kind of bullshit. The Quidditch is cancelled this year, but we're moving on. Like, okay, cool.
Exactly. One game each we'll go with for well, you can add on to that if you want to, if you've got other games that you think are not disappointed. But I was gonna say probably my most anticipated game for the rest of the year, probably Diablo. If I'm being honest, like I've never played a Diablo game, and it's always been a genre of game that I feel like I would like, but I've never actually tried. And I feel like this, from what I've heard about this game and what I've seen about this game, and obviously going to play the beta tomorrow with Kresh, which is going to be cool. I feel like it could be the game that I get to play off stream, and I get to just jump on and play for an hour here, 2 hours there, and I get sucked in one night, and I'm up till 4 o'clock in the morning playing. So yeah, I haven't had a game like that in a really long time. So fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Starfield, I think, is my most anticipated of the year going forward. I do think that the Game of the Year discussion outside of Xbox this year is going to be probably quite... Like, I don't think there'll be a consensus like there was last year with Elden Ring. I think you'll have some outlets going for Zelda. You'll have some outlets going Spider-Man 2. You'll have some outlets going Starfield, hopefully.
Final Fantasy 16.
That game's getting slept on all these lists people are talking about. Crazy.
Is that your most anticipated?
No, it's the Xbox podcast, Matt. It can't be my most anticipated for this show.
No, it can. You can say what the hell you want. Yeah, I respect that.
But to be fair, there's a lot of games. Diablo, I'm very excited for, and Street Fighter. I think they're all three of those games are very similar in excitement level, and they come out basically at the same time, which is horrible.
Yeah. But again, like Street Fighter, I mean, could it be chatted about in Game of the Year discussions across an IGN or whatever else? Maybe,
Game of the Year for overall Game of the Year?
It could be.
It could be. I would doubt it.
Oh.
I think Fighting Game of the Year.
It could be.
Fighting Game of the Year.
This year will be interesting.
A very interesting conversation, yeah.
Well, yeah. In a year where you've got a lot of good stuff in, for sure.
Ooh, okay.
Exciting time to be a gamer. Come on now.
Very exciting. Let's plug and get ourselves out of here, boys. Matt, we got to plug this week, man.
Real plug again for you guys. I am chatting to the devs of Diablo 4 next week. So if you have questions, and the whole purpose of the video that I'm making for work is Diablo devs answer your questions. Yeah. So I need your questions, people. Either in the Discord, go to the YouTube video for this podcast, and you can comment them there, or just tweet at me at MattPVideo. And you may get featured in the video. How cool would that be? And then a dev might answer your question about Diablo 4.
Origin Cookie Man, Jeff Hero, right?
Kresh,
mcfixer.
Yeah, you guys are all hyped for it. Give me your questions.
I will. Kresh, what you got to plug this week?
Quick, give you my questions. This week, I want to shout out the American podcast listeners for leaving a review. We need more reviews. We don't want the people overseas ever catching up to our review numbers. This is the one thing we're winning right now. Let's keep it going.
Healthcare system, trash.
Yeah.
Our president, we don't know who it's going to be. But reviews, we got those on lock. I'm just saying.
we need to start VPNing ourselves to different parts of the world, Fix, just to try and catch up with Crash.
It's a choice. We could.
That doesn't count. That literally does not.
You would never know.
You want to bet? I'm gonna start VPNing to other parts of the world to see where you guys are getting these reviews.
I'm out here in Australia and all these places. You got like Africa. You got all parts of Africa and stuff. You
can have South America, Crash.
Yeah. We're taking the whole of Europe.
We'll take the rest of the world.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you guys.
You're welcome.
I tell you what, as well, Crash. I'll give you Antarctica, and then we'll take Asia, and that'll be good.
Oh yeah. Completely fair.
We've got so many Asian fans love Xbox, and especially a niche Xbox podcast. 100%.
Yeah.
Just as many penguins out there, man. Just as many penguins out there with iPods. You know what I mean?
True.
And Nans to kick down the stairs.
Hey, there's a nan out there. What have I got to plug this week? I guess I'll plug my YouTube channel. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing with my YouTube channel. I've kind of had a bit of a. I've been doing GTA roleplay for a long time now. I'm trying to find my love again for content as a whole. I feel like I found my streaming thing. I'm trying to find other things that interest me. So yeah, if you go subscribe to my YouTube channel and also join my personal Discord, I'd love some suggestions for content and things you'd like to see. Even like IRL stuff. Like people, it's funny. I've been doing roleplay for so long now. I did the Fall Guy stream, right? And then like some of the people who watch roleplay were like, "Oh, we've never seen you like this," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, because I'm always in character." What you wouldn't see me having like joking around in a certain type of way, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I feel like my YouTube channel needs to become. I need to start doing reaction content again. I think that's number one, because people really enjoyed that, so I need to start getting back on that. And then number two, I need to start doing, what these YouTubers do? Oh, trying American snacks and all that sort of thing. So I'm thinking about trying to do some content like that. So please do let me know if there's something you would be interested in seeing over on my personal channel. Until next time, and we will be 8 years old next week. I will love you, leave you, and see you later. Thanks for watching. Goodbyes.
Goodbye.